So, The Personal History of David Copperfield is an excellently made film. It is cinematic, it's well written, it's just well made all around. It looks beautiful, the props, the outfits, the design, the locations, the visuals, the audio, it's all brimming with excellence. If this were just a review on the presentation, The Personal History of David Copperfield would be a 10 out of 10. Unfortunately, it's not just about those. So while all of the presentation is extremely stellar, even the writing, I have to preface this many times before I get into the negatives. The writing is still extremely well written. Okay, this is a solidly made film. Everything as far as making this film was exceptional, and it was exceptionally well done. I'm aware this is based off of a novel, and honestly, it was a chore to watch the film. God only knows what it would be like to read the novel, because the personal history of David Copperfield's story is so monotonously boring, okay? Literally the most entertaining part, in my opinion, comes at about the 15-minute mark, and it has to do with parental abuse, pretty much. And I'm not trying to belittle this movie, because like I said, this is a well-made film. It is executed perfectly. But the story and plot that all of the creativity revolves around is just so mundane. It's not even standard. It's so boring. The writing is excellent, but even the writing doesn't hold it up. The dialogue, it's so brimming with character and colorfulness. The characters are brimming themselves. The actors and actresses, they do such a phenomenal job in their roles. The production value, everything is so astounding. I just cannot believe the story is so mundane and monotonously boring. It is. I'm sorry, but on Rotten Tomatoes, The Personal History of David Copperfield's critic value is sitting at a 93% certified fresh. And last I checked, if I remember correctly, the average user review was like, I don't know, 48, 38%, something like that. So, I mean, I try to look at it in both viewpoints. Try to fill up the cup, not make it half full. Make it a filled up cup of water or milk or something. But the thing is, like, from a critic and average user perspective, you have to go into a film and see things for what they are on the surface, as well as looking at the value of everything: the presentation, the audio, the visuals, the story, the plotting, the writing, the direction, everything. And like I said, this is a 10 out of 10 film for presentation, but the story is so boring. Even the plotting of it is fine. It's the story itself. It's just so mundane and monotonously boring. Like, literally, there was a part in this, I watched it right in the early afternoon, and honestly, about the halfway point of it, I started to doze off. I didn't fully fall asleep, but I dozed off for, I'd say, 10 seconds, and then I woke up, and something happened, and I was just like, oh, okay, so that happened. And nothing really sparked. I'm not looking for epic gun battles or anything, but I'm looking for something that keeps me entertained, and the story in this film just did not entertain me, really, at all. I appreciated the storytelling of it, where it was basically David Copperfield's life in the form of him writing it as a novel and backtracking throughout his life. I appreciated that kind of storytelling. Like I said, the presentation, the artistic style of this film, 10 out of 10, everything. But the story is like a 2 out of 10 for me. Anyway, the personal history of David Copperfield, for me, is a 5 out of 10. All of the artistic parts of this film are flawless. Even the writing is flawless. It has to do with the story itself. And to me, a fair review and a fair evaluation is a 5 out of 10, which is not bad. And yes, that's an average standard review score for me, but that's still not saying that this is a bad film. Okay? This is, if you go into it wanting exploration, wanting adventure story, wanting artistic, beautiful visuals, outstanding audio, you will be satisfied. If you go in, though, if you go in expecting Game of Thrones type story and any resemblance of action, which, I mean, there's a tiny bit of violence. It's like sporadic. It's like one scene of violent acts every 45 minutes. But outside of those scenes, everything that leads up to those scenes are just mundane. And I didn't really care for anything. I mean, there were some funny parts, but honestly, even the intro, it started off so, I guess, pretentious. Like, it was forcing the need to make you laugh, and it just didn't grip me. It was like, at first it felt hokey. Their accents and everything did actually kind of feel hokey to me at first. The intro was kind of awkward feeling. So anyway, personal history of David Copperfield for me is a 5 out of 10. Thank you.